So I was watching Resub's newest video on the RNG of unfair zone pulls during Fortnite tournaments. During this video, he mentioned a Stormhill strategy done by a player named Cringe. Here's what he had to say.
Circle, which meant that he kept away from all of the other players playing the Storm. And the other player who did that extremely well was Cringe, who's at the top of the leaderboard after day 1. But the thing is, his strategy did not revolve around gold like Scroll. Instead, he approached this from a completely different angle. Cringe lands on a spot north of Classified Canyon that has 2 chests and a slurp truck. From here he can farm max metal quickly and then just rotate north, scrap looting the chests around him as he goes. He gets a 19 tag onto Nero before boxing up on the fishing rod spawns in the East River. Interestingly, he doesn't fish the holes, he just creates enough space to fish the water underneath. There's a 60% chance to get a small fry, a 30% chance to get a flopper, a 10% chance to get a shieldfish, and a 0.49% chance you'll get the mythic pistol, and finally is the same chance of getting some gold. 4 minutes into fishing, he luckily pulls the mythic pistol, and after 7 minutes he stops fishing. This means that when the force zone's here, he can just use all of the small fries that he's fished up to keep himself alive without wasting any floppers. Because he's deep into Storm, most people don't expect him to still be sitting in this box, so this allows him to get a lot of easy tags. He tags Winter for 27, Hizix for 100, and then again Winter for 47 much later, putting him at plus 193 net surge. 5th zone pulls fully maximum, the furthest away possible pull it could be, and he's the deepest person into Storm, which means that no one is behind him. He has to make the tough choice of what to drop for the floppers so that he can survive this rotation, and it's obviously not going to be the mythic pistol, so he drops the purple pump. As he rotates, he buys 1 slurp with the gold that he has, and he's also credited for killing Hizix, which he damaged earlier. So with the siphon and the slurp popped, he stays at 100 HP for a lot of this rotate. However, when he's close to getting into the 5th zone, the 6th zone appears near him, which is now a 5 tick. So he uses 1 flopper, and then the last of his gold for a patch-up in Sus. Then he can just wingsuit in, and he still has floppers to spare. Because of this fishing strategy, at the 6th zone, he's now taken 0 damage, but dealt 193, entirely bypassing the Storm Surge just by sitting and fishing. You may ask how he gets a shotgun to play out the rest of this game, but a player who is down on Surge just runs next to his box, and he wipes him out. The thing is, depending on where the zone pulls, Cringe would have a different strategy for this. There are fishing rod spawns all around the map, and he chose whichever one was basically somewhere in the 2nd zone. Some of them were in the center of the map, some of them were over to the east, some were to the west, but this strategy took him to 1st place on day 1.
But anyway, I low-key wanted to test out this strategy because I was curious how high I could actually place while doing it. And I'm going to tell you now that it is not a good idea if you don't get lucky while fishing. But anyway, here's the game.